Good morning, world changer. Let me ask you something when your alarm clock rings. What's the first thought that runs through your mind? Do you hit snooze and tell yourself, just 5 more minutes? Or do you wake up with the fire of knowing that today is another opportunity to build, to grow, to impact? See, most people let the morning set the tone for them instead of setting the tone for their morning. They wake up reacting instead of creating. But what if I told you that the first 5 minutes of your day could be the secret weapon to your success? That the way you speak to yourself before the world gets a chance to will shape how you walk, talk, and show up. So today we're flipping the script. No more waking up to fear, doubt, or hesitation. You are stepping into confidence, into power, into purpose. And it all begins with what you do right now. Imagine waking up in the morning and before your feet even hit the floor, your mind is already flooded with thoughts of doubt. Can I really do this? What if today goes wrong? I'm not ready. Now compare that to waking up and saying, today is mine. I am ready. I am capable. Two completely different mindsets, two completely different outcomes. The way you start your morning isn't just a routine, it's a decision that shapes your entire day. There's a story about a man named James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, who talks about how small actions create big results. He once shared how a simple shift in mindset changed his productivity forever. Instead of waking up and thinking about the stress of his to-do list, he started his day with a single phrase, I'm the type of person who takes action. Just that shift in identity changed his approach. He stopped dreading the day and started owning it. Over time, those words became a reality. He built a habit of confidence, and that confidence built a best-selling career. This isn't just motivational talk, it's science. Research in psychology shows that the first thoughts you allow into your mind after waking up have a significant impact on your emotions and productivity. A study by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, a leading researcher in positive psychology, found that positive emotions broaden our minds, opening us up to creativity, problem solving, and resilience. On the other hand, negative emotions narrow our focus, trapping us in fear and hesitation. That means if your first thought in the morning is rooted in doubt, your brain is already setting you up for a day of second guessing and stress. But if your first thought is empowering, you're giving yourself permission to step into confidence before the world even gets a chance to test you. Think about some of the most successful leaders: Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, Serena Williams. They don't wake up hoping for confidence, they create it. Oprah has often spoken about how she starts her day with gratitude and intention. She doesn't just roll out of bed and hope for a good day, she declares it. She speaks it into existence. Serena Williams visualizes her wins before she even steps onto the court. Elon Musk, known for pushing boundaries, starts his day with problem solving and decisive action. None of them wake up waiting for confidence to find them. They choose it. They step into it. And that's the biggest lesson here. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you choose. Every morning you have a decision to make. Are you going to let doubt, hesitation, and fear run your day? Or are you going to wake up and say, I own this day. I am prepared. I am capable. It's not about pretending life is easy. It's not about ignoring challenges. It's about deciding before anything else happens that no matter what the day throws at you, you are stepping into it with belief in yourself. The way you speak to yourself in the first 5 minutes of the morning is either your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. So here's my challenge to you tomorrow morning. Before your feet even touch the ground, speak life into yourself. Say, I am ready. I am powerful. I will make today count. Because the way you start your day is the way you shape your life. And your life, your success, your happiness, your greatness begins with one decision. Choose confidence. Imagine standing in front of a mirror first thing in the morning. Before you even brush your teeth or check your phone, you take a good look at yourself. What do you say? What thoughts immediately come to mind? For most people, it's a list of what's wrong. I look tired. I have so much to do. I don't feel ready. But what if, instead of tearing yourself down before the day even begins, you built yourself up? What if, before the world has a chance to define you, you define yourself? There's a powerful story about Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all time. Long before the world called him the greatest, he called himself that Before he had any titles, before he won any championships, he spoke it into existence. He would say, I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. Ali understood something most people don't. Your words shape your reality. He didn't wait for the world to acknowledge his greatness. He told himself first. And because he believed it, he worked for it, trained for it, fought for it, and became exactly what he spoke. This is not just a motivational idea, it's rooted in science. Research in cognitive psychology shows that self-talk, the way we speak to ourselves, directly influences our emotions, actions, and ultimately our success. Dr. Carol Dweck, a Stanford psychologist, studied the difference between people with a fixed mindset and those with a growth mindset. She found that people who tell themselves, I can improve, I can figure this out, are far more likely to succeed than those who say, I'm not good at this, I'll never get better. Your brain listens to what you tell it. If you start your day with negative self-talk, you program yourself for struggle. But if you speak life into yourself, if you remind yourself of your strength, your purpose, and your potential, you set yourself up for success before you even step out the door. Look at the most successful people in business and leadership. They understand the power of self-affirmation. Take someone like Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She built $1 billion company from nothing, and one of the biggest things she credits her success to is the way she spoke to herself every morning. She would look in the mirror and say, I am brave. I will figure this out. Even when she had no investors, even when people doubted her, she refused to let outside opinions define her. She defined herself first. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Speak life into yourself before the world gets a chance to speak doubt into you. The world will always have opinions. There will always be critics, challenges, and moments of uncertainty. But you get to decide what you believe about yourself. You get to decide how you step into each day. So the next time you wake up, before you reach for your phone, before you start worrying about your to-do list, take a moment, stand in front of that mirror, look yourself in the eyes and say, I am powerful. I am capable. I am enough. Because when you start your day with confidence, when you set the tone for how you see yourself, you take control of your life instead of letting the world do it for you. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for validation. You declare it. And when you do that, you walk through the day not just existing, but thriving. There's a moment right after your alarm clock rings when hesitation creeps in. It whispers, stay in bed a little longer. You're not ready. Today is going to be hard. That voice convinces you to hit snooze, to delay, to start your day in a place of doubt instead of action. And if you listen to it, that hesitation doesn't stop in the morning. It follows you throughout the day. It makes you second-guess yourself at work, hold back in conversations, and shrink when you should be stepping forward. But here's the truth. Hesitation is a thief. It steals opportunities, drains confidence, and keeps you stuck. And the only way to beat it is to replace it with bold action. Mel Robbins, a successful entrepreneur and motivational speaker, talks about how she was stuck in a cycle of procrastination and self-doubt. She knew what she needed to do, but every morning she found herself hesitating, lying in bed, avoiding decisions, waiting for motivation. One day she had a realization: if she didn't move immediately, her hesitation would take over. So she created something called the 5-second rule. The rule is simple. The moment you feel yourself hesitating, count down -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and take action before your brain talks you out of it. She started applying this to her mornings, forcing herself to get up the second her alarm rang. Over time, this small habit rewired her brain. She became more decisive, more confident, and ultimately more successful. There's real science behind why this works. Neuroscientists have found that when you hesitate, even for a few seconds, your brain shifts into protection mode. It starts analyzing risks, overthinking, and creating fear where there was none. A study from Harvard University found that overthinking reduces performance and increases stress because it activates the part of the brain associated with fear. That means every time you hesitate, you're training your brain to associate action with danger even when no real danger exists. But when you take immediate action, you override that fear response. You teach your brain that you are in control, not your doubts. Look at the world's top leaders and performers. They don't wait for motivation. They move. Take Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. He operates by a principle called bias for action. He believes that making a decision and moving forward, even if it's not perfect, is always better than waiting too long. That's how he built Amazon from a small online bookstore to one of the biggest companies in the world. He didn't let hesitation stop him. He took action, adjusted along the way, and kept going. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Fear and hesitation will always be there, but they don't have to control you. The next time you wake up and that voice in your head tells you to wait, to delay, to play small, don't negotiate with it. Move. Get up immediately. Make the call. Start the project. Step into the opportunity. Because confidence isn't built by waiting until you feel ready. Confidence is built by taking action before you feel ready. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, when that hesitation creeps in, shut it down. Count down -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Because hesitation may be a thief, but action is your superpower. And when you choose action, you choose confidence, growth, and success. There's a powerful moment each morning when you wake up, and for a split second, the world is quiet. No emails, no notifications, no responsibilities weighing on you just yet. And in that moment, you have a choice to wake up just to exist or to wake up with the intention to make an impact. Most people go through their mornings on autopilot, rushing through routines, scrolling through their phones, dragging themselves into the day as if they have no control. But what if instead you woke up with the mindset that today is not just another day, it's an opportunity? An opportunity to grow, to serve, to create, to make a difference, even in the smallest way. There's a story about Steve Jobs that speaks to this idea. He had a habit of asking himself the same question every morning. If today were the last day of my life, would I be happy with what I'm about to do? If the answer was no too many days in a row, he knew he needed to change something. Jobs didn't just wake up and go through the motions, he woke up with purpose. That's what made him a visionary. He didn't let his mornings be dictated by chance. He used them as a launch pad to create, to innovate, to push boundaries. He understood that every single day was a piece of the bigger picture. Science backs this up. Studies in behavioral psychology show that starting your day with a sense of purpose increases motivation, productivity, and overall happiness. Dr. Sean Aker, a leading researcher in positive psychology, found that people who wake up with a goal, even a small one, experience more energy and focus throughout the day. Their brains release dopamine, the chemical associated with motivation and reward, which helps them stay engaged and driven. On the other hand, those who wake up without a sense of direction tend to feel more stressed and unfulfilled because their minds default to reacting instead of creating. Look at some of the most influential people in the world: Michelle Obama, Elon Musk, Gary Vaynerchuk. They don't wake up and let the day happen to them. They wake up with intention. Michelle Obama starts her mornings with movement, exercise, meditation, or reading because she knows that setting the tone early keeps her sharp and focused. Elon Musk structures his mornings with high-priority tasks, tackling the most important problems first. Gary Vaynerchuk starts every day with gratitude, reminding himself that he gets to do what he loves instead of having to do it. They all understand that the way they begin their day determines how they show up in their lives. The lesson here is clear. You don't wake up just to exist. You wake up to create impact. And that impact doesn't have to be world-changing. It can be as simple as showing up fully present for your family, giving your best effort at work, or taking one step closer to your dreams. The key is to wake up with the mindset that your day matters. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before the world starts pulling you in 100 directions, ask yourself, what impact will I make today? It doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be intentional. Because when you wake up with purpose, you don't just move through the day, you own it. And when you own your day, you own your future. Every morning the sun rises without hesitation. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait to be told it's the right time. It simply shows up every single day without fail. And whether the sky is clear or covered in storm clouds, the sun still rises. What if you treated your life the same way? What if instead of waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for everything to align, you simply showed up and gave your best? There's a story about J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, that perfectly illustrates this idea. Before she became one of the most successful writers in history, she faced more rejection and failure than most people could handle. She was a struggling single mother living in poverty, writing in cafes while her baby slept beside her. She had every reason to quit, every reason to believe it wasn't her time, but she kept writing. She kept showing up. She sent her manuscript to 12 different publishers, and all of them rejected her. Most people would have taken that as a sign to stop, but she didn't. She sent it to one more publisher, and that decision changed her life forever. If she had waited for the perfect moment, Harry Potter might never have existed. This isn't just about perseverance, it's about understanding that every new day is another chance to step into your greatness. Research in positive psychology shows that people who focus on fresh starts, who see each morning as a new opportunity, are more likely to achieve their goals. A study by Dr. Catherine Milkman at the University of Pennsylvania found that people who embrace fresh start moments, like the beginning of a day, week, or month, are more likely to take positive action, whether it's starting a new habit, setting a goal, or making a life change. Your brain actually responds to these moments with increased motivation, giving you the energy to take action. But the key is that you must recognize the opportunity and act on it. Now look at some of the most successful people in the world. Wayne "The Rock" Johnson wakes up at 4 a.m. every single day to train, not because he has to, but because he chooses to. He knows that showing up daily, regardless of how he feels, is the key to long-term success. He doesn't wake up and ask, "Do I feel like working today?" He just gets up and does it because he knows that every day is another chance to get stronger, to improve, to move closer to his goals. That's the lesson here. Every sunrise is a reminder that you have another chance to get it right, another chance to step forward instead of staying stuck, another chance to take action on the things that matter. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't have to wait for motivation. You just have to wake up and decide, "I will make today count." So here's my challenge for you. The next time you wake up, instead of dragging yourself through the morning, treat it like a fresh start. Say to yourself, "Today is another chance. I get to show up. I get to grow. I get to make progress." Because the truth is, no matter what happened yesterday, no matter what obstacles you're facing, the sun still rises and so can you. There's a moment in every morning where you decide how the rest of your day will unfold. It's not the moment you step out of bed. It's not the moment you check your phone or drink your first cup of coffee. It's the moment you choose your focus, because the truth is, whatever you focus on in the morning expands throughout your day. If you focus on stress, you'll find more stress. If you focus on gratitude, you'll find more things to be grateful for. Your morning mindset is like a seed you planted at the start of the day, and it grows into everything that follows. Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women in the world, understands this deeply. She has a simple but powerful morning ritual. Before she even gets out of bed, she takes a deep breath and says, "Thank you." She starts her day with gratitude, no matter what is going on in her life. She doesn't wait for things to be perfect. She finds something, anything to be grateful for. This habit has shaped her success, allowing her to approach every challenge with resilience, every opportunity with clarity, and every setback with a sense of purpose. She knows that her focus in the morning determines her energy, her decisions, and ultimately the impact she has on the world. This isn't just a feel-good idea, it's backed by science. Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain has something called the reticular activating system, RAS, which acts like a filter. It takes what you focus on and brings more of it into your awareness. That's why when you're thinking about buying a certain car, you suddenly start seeing it everywhere. Your brain is trained to find what you focus on. A study by Dr. Robert Emmons, a leading researcher on gratitude, found that people who start their day with gratitude are 25% happier, experience lower levels of stress, and have stronger immune systems. Their brains literally become wired to seek out the good, which helps them make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and stay emotionally strong even when facing difficulties. Think about some of the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and athletes. They don't just stumble into their days reacting to whatever happens. They set their focus intentionally. Tony Robbins, a world-renowned speaker and coach, has a practice called priming. Every morning, he spends 10 minutes focusing on three things: deep breathing, gratitude, and visualizing his goals. He does this because he knows that if he doesn't direct his mind early, it will be pulled in 100 different directions. He says, where focus goes, energy flows. If you start your day overwhelmed, your energy will be scattered. But if you start with gratitude and clarity, your energy will be powerful and focused. The lesson here is simple. You get to choose what expands in your life. If you start your morning focusing on what's wrong, your problems, your stress, your fears, those things will grow. But if you start your day focusing on what's right, your opportunities, your strengths, your blessings, you will find more of those things. You can't always control what happens during the day, but you can control how you start it. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before you do anything else, take a moment to set your focus. Find one thing to be grateful for. It can be something small, your breath, your bed, the chance to wake up and try again. Say it out loud. Feel it. Let it set the tone for your day. Because when you master your focus in the morning, you don't just change your day, you change your life. There's a moment in every morning where you decide whether you're going to start your day as a creator or a consumer. Most people wake up and immediately start consuming, checking social media, scrolling through news, reading emails, reacting to whatever the world throws at them. And before they even get out of bed, their energy is scattered, their focus is hijacked, and they're already feeling behind. But the people who consistently create success in their lives, they start their mornings by creating. They don't wait to see what the world demands of them. They set their own agenda. They write, they plan, they meditate, they move, they take control before the world takes control of them. Consider the story of Benjamin Franklin. He had a structured morning routine that set the foundation for his success. Each morning, he asked himself a simple but powerful question: what good shall I do this day? That question wasn't about reacting to emails or scrolling through distractions. It was about setting an intention to create something meaningful. He spent his mornings in deep focus, writing, problem solving, thinking strategically. His routine was designed to ensure that he was living with purpose rather than simply reacting to the chaos of the world. And because of that, he left behind a legacy of innovation, leadership, and wisdom that still inspires us today. This idea is supported by research in cognitive psychology. Studies show that the first hour of your day is the most important for cognitive function and emotional regulation. A study from the University of London found that people who start their day with intentional creative activities like writing, goal setting, or problem solving are significantly more productive and focused throughout the day. In contrast, those who start by consuming information passively, like scrolling through social media, experience higher levels of stress and reduced mental clarity. The reason is simple. When you start the day in reactive mode, your brain gets stuck in a cycle of responding instead of leading. But when you start in creative mode, you train your brain to take charge. Look at the habits of high achievers. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, starts his day at 4:30 a.m., but he doesn't waste those early hours reacting to distractions. He spends time reading, planning, and setting priorities for the day. Maya Angelou, one of the most legendary writers of our time, had a strict morning writing routine. She didn't wait for inspiration to strike. She showed up and created every single morning. Even athletes like Serena Williams use their mornings to set their mental state before stepping onto the court, focusing on visualization and intention rather than just reacting to the competition. The common thread among all these successful individuals, they don't start their days in consumption mode. They start in creation mode. The lesson here is clear. If you don't take control of your morning, the world will do it for you. And if you let the world dictate your morning, you'll spend the rest of your day reacting instead of leading. You'll feel behind before you even get started. But if you start your day by setting your intentions, by focusing on your goals, by choosing how you want to show up, you give yourself the power to shape your own success. So here's my challenge for you tomorrow morning before you reach for your phone, before you let the world in, do something creative. Write down a goal, plan your day, move your body, meditate, do something that puts you in control. Because the way you start your morning isn't just about the next few hours, it's about the kind of life you're building one day at a time.